I'm alright, but I'm just thinking, do you know a mechanic? Hello everybody, welcome to another video. A video where something's gone wrong with the van.
I'm currently on a photography road trip where I have driven my 2002 Mitsubishi Delica from the UK to Iceland. We have covered many thousands of miles on tarmac and gravel, crossing rivers and living out of the van. So far, she has not skipped a beat. Until now. You see, the problem started when I was driving on a gravel road towards the highlands of Iceland. All of a sudden, the van began to make a horrendous noise. Now, if you wish to catch up on the journey thus far, I've linked to a playlist of this adventure below. And as for the van, well, there are a few question marks.
So I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you this with the GoPro. I suspect that is the issue. It's not sounding good.
So the problem that I have is that for the next few days I was going to drive into the Highlands, all dirt roads and river crossings. The consequences of something going wrong are too high. If something goes wrong in the Highlands, like, I'm absolutely screwed. It just doesn't bear thinking about. Right, see how she drives. Oh dear me. Right, see if we still have power.
Like 60, I was like 240.
It's not sounding good.
Yeah, it's really not sounding good, and frustratingly, it doesn't come across on camera how bad it sounds. Now, the biggest problem is that this began in the Highlands, and there are no services in the Highlands of Iceland at all, so I need to drive a long way south just to get back to civilization, so I can figure out what to do next. Luckily, I have a good Icelandic friend who I can call upon for a bit of help and advice.
Hello?
Hello, how's it going? I'm alright, but I'm just thinking, do you know a mechanic? Cheers, bye, 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 bye. So, good old Thor to the rescue. He's just sent me a pin to a workshop near here that closes at 5 o'clock.
Now, what I just failed to mention is that yes, the garage closes at 5 o'clock, but it's currently about 4:45 PM and it's a Friday. So if I don't make it to this garage now, I won't be able to do anything until at least Monday. And with the uncertainty of the health of my van, and with a long road trip ahead of me, this really isn't an option.
All right, so we have stopped at a petrol station where I'm gonna fill up and just take a break. Now, it's good news. The mechanic confirmed my suspicions. It was that thing, I think it's a muffler on the exhaust. It's come loose because of all the vibrations, so it's broken inside. I'm not too sure. He assured me that it's fine. The only problem is it's going to be noisy and you may get a warning light on your dashboard for the oxygen sensor, but he's not sure about that. So all in all, I feel a lot better, but it's still been a very stressful day. So I think I need to find a campsite, decompress, and basically make a whole new plan because yeah, we've lost another day with all of this palaver. Anyway, I'm gonna get some petrol. Of course, I need to use the fuel that's on my own roof first. There's no point in driving around with all of this up here. Do you know, actually, it looks like there's a campsite just there. If that is the case, man, I'm staying there. I'm done in. It's super, super windy. I'm tired. I'm a little bit stressed still, so if we get this tank filled up and then go and see if we can get in at that little campsite.
So I feel I need to really decompress right now, man. Today has been a complete write-off. My plan was to drive into 𝘠𝘧𝘧𝘪𝘭𝘪𝘢𝘵. Landman, you know, the beautiful place that no one can pronounce. I was going to drive there, it's going to be fantastic, camp up, do some hiking and photography, but I hit this washboard road, Route 26 to the Highlands Hotel. If you're in Iceland, you'll know it, avoid it at all costs. It's a washboard. I didn't even film it, I couldn't film it. The van was being absolutely rattled to death. I'm amazed that actually the exhaust was the only thing that went. Actually, I tell a lie, look at this. Yeah, my covered top's gone. But anyway, when my exhaust went, I lost the confidence to go into the Highlands. So yeah, I'm basically writing off today and tomorrow morning. Right, I need to get settled in. Bit of privacy. Oh, it just gets worse. It's funny, I remember my first day in Iceland when I got off the ferry and I was driving and taking photographs, and I said I wasn't going to complain. All I've done is complain. There's a live band on, there's a big marquee tent and there's a live band. My wife would call me a fun sponge, that's what she calls me. I should probably go and socialise and dance, that's what normal people would do, right? But not me. I just want to tuck myself in my van, get my head down and have a good night's sleep and just forget about today. But no, I've got to listen to the distant bass line of a blooming band playing. I'm going to do a bit of work and watch film, something like that. I just want to say thank you to the sponsor of this video, which is NordVPN. Always fitting when I have my laptop in a public space. I can actually log onto Wi-Fi here, which is one good thing about this campsite. But the thing with Wi-Fi is it's not always, well, public Wi-Fi is it's really not secure. So if you travel a lot, like I do, then you really should use a VPN. It's a virtual private network. It's fantastic, some would say essential for online security. It gives you lots of online privacy. It can prevent all of your data being captured. A VPN can prevent your service provider from throttling your internet. It can encrypt all of your traffic. Even better, NordVPN has a thing called threat protection, where it can actually scan links and attachments to emails and things like that before you've even clicked on them to let you know if they're dodgy. But of course, the best thing about a VPN is you can watch Coronation Street when you're overseas. So your computer can be tricked into thinking it's in your home country. So any online censorship or anything that's blocked in one country, you can access simply by just switching your computer to another country virtually. You can go to nordvpn.com/Heaton and you can get a 2-year deal with 4 extra months. So I'll stick the links to that below. But for now, I'm going to try and relax and I'm just going to enjoy the music and the laughter and the happy people and everyone having a great time. I'll be laughing at 4 in the morning when I start my engine. Yes. Good morning, everybody. I actually slept really well last night, and the music, nah, not a problem at all. I wasn't really that miserable. There's always carnage in this van in the morning. It's such a small van that just the act of waking up and getting dressed and getting a bit of breakfast requires a lot of organisation and work. In fact, I'll show you my morning routine because it's far from glamorous, let me tell you. You see these videos on YouTube, honestly, don't believe the half of it. It's all staged, it's all a show. So the first and worst job is to get dressed. Not only is it cold, but actually it's a lot harder than it looks to get dressed in a van this small. Try and get the van in order a little bit. So the sleeping bag's rolled up and I'm dressed. Now the next order of business is that's of a toilet matter. It's quite funny because there's 3 ways to go for a pee in a van. One is just to open the door and pee out in nature, by far my favourite technique. But in a campsite such as this one, effectively in a car park, it's not really an option. Second option is to go to the toilets if you're staying in a campsite. Again, a campsite like this, when it's this busy, not really an option. It's a bit like trying to queue for a beer at a festival. It's just people everywhere, barging, shouldering, waiting, smells. Just not an enjoyable experience. So the third option, and the one I tend to favour more so in the winter time especially, is the old pee bottle. So back here is my bathroom cabinet. I have all my bathroom needs in here, including this fella, if you don't mind. Just make sure the curtains are closed. You don't need people seeing this. Alright, so we'll deal with that after when we leave. So now it's time for the next faff of the morning, which is breakfast. I only ever boil the amount of water that I need. So I keep my tea and coffee gear in these 2 pouches on the back of the passenger seat. One holds a coffee grinder and an AeroPress, and then the other one holds tea bags and coffee beans. And this morning I've decided to have a coffee, which adds another layer of faffery to the morning. Now we grind. You see, normally I'd have tea because this is such faffery, but I really do enjoy coffee, but I've really cut back and I refuse to drink like terrible coffee. I hate drinking coffee for the sake of, you know, like a habit. Oh, give me a coffee. And you end up drinking like 7 a day. So by this method, you don't drink coffee very often, and the coffee that you do drink is excellent, if I do say so myself. But yeah, you gotta do this. Yeah, of course. You always make sure that the AeroPress is on top of a cup as you pour the water in, because it seeps out the bottom until it's plugged with the plunger. Alright, now I've got to get my milk, which is in the front. I keep my fridge in the passenger seat footwell. Alright, so we're having Weetabix for breakfast. Now everything in this van is just so and has its place, and typically there are consequences for everything, meaning that if you want to access one thing, you have to move another, and all of my cutlery is kept beneath all of this carnage in front of me, the coffee, the stove, the milk, so I need to access that. But luckily I have an ingenious solution, which is my sliding desk. Oh, the milk's gone, the milk's gone. Success. So usually with breakfast I will enjoy a YouTube video, sit back, relax, and yeah, just take 5 minutes before the next phase of the morning routine. So with breakfast done, I now have to tidy everything away and make space for the final chore of the morning. Really important to keep on top of everything in the van. Like, you can't let washing up build, because 2 spoons, 1 fork and a bowl, and then it's chaos. Now for the most important job of the day, every day, and that is file organisation. On these trips I'm filming everything, and I'm filming from 4 different cameras, and sometimes I mix videos. So for example, I might be doing a video which is chronological, you know, wake up in the morning, shoot sunrise, have lunch, shoot sunset, that's a video. But within that time frame, within that day, I also shoot a couple of scenes on film. For example, I'm planning a video, I don't know, shooting film in Iceland on my Hasselblad 501cm. Well, that video, although it may look like a single shoot, it's not. That's going to be shot over the period of about 4 or 5 days. I'm going to have clips from one video mixed in with different videos and different cameras, and if I don't organise those files while they're fresh in my mind every day, I'm going to get home to just files, video clips everywhere, and I will not be able to edit them. But if they're organised, day by day, folder by folder, video by video, camera by camera, easy, piece of cake. So you've got to have a lot of discipline and do this every single day. There you go, that's the life of filming videos on the road. It looks like a lot of leisure and a lot of sitting around drinking coffee and admiring the view, but honestly, when the camera's not rolling, like, I'm working 12-hour days. Little insight for you anyway. Right, we're about done with all of these backing up the files. So yeah, that'll be it. We'll brush our teeth and hit the road. Alright guys, so for one last time in this video, let's listen to the sound of my wonderful exhaust. Oh, she sounds throaty.